Thanks for joining us again. This is Barry Kazire. Get ready for some real live marketing. Are you a small business owner that is confused over your accounting records? Accounting by Art can help you eliminate this confusion with a free initial one-to-one consultation. Art offers QuickBooks training seminars covering both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online, as well as addressing your specific needs and questions. Visit accountingbyart.com and set up your free consultation today. If you're looking for high quality ink for your home or office at a great price, CR Office Technologies Inc. has the ink you need at the price you want. Visit crofficetech.com. That's crofficetech.com to get the price, the quality, and the service you've been looking for. Hi, this is Barry Kazire, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Real Live Marketing. Today, our guest Donna Burst is going to talk to us today about greeting cards. Now, the greeting card's been around for a long time. It's generally a card featuring an expression of friendship or other sentiment. It's usually given on a special occasion, but it's also used to convey thanks or express other feelings. The biggest greeting card companies in the U.S. are Hallmark and American Greetings. There are lots of types of greeting cards. These include photo greeting cards, personalized greeting cards, reusable greeting cards, musical greeting cards, electronic greeting cards, pop-up greeting cards, and many others. Now, Americans may not realize this, but we are not the people who invented the greeting card. The sending of greeting cards can be traced all the way back to the ancient Chinese. They exchanged messages of goodwill to celebrate the new year. And the early Egyptians also conveyed greetings on scrolls. Now, up until about 1930, greeting cards were pretty expensive, usually handmade and hand-delivered, but now they're popular and affordable thanks to advances in printing and the postal system. In the U.S., about 6.5 billion greeting cards are bought each year at a total cost of over $7 billion. So, you might want to get into the greeting card business. But regardless of your business and what type of business that you're in, with our guest today, Donna, we are going to explore the importance of using greeting cards in your business. I know not too long ago at our office, we received a handwritten note from Amazon. Amazon's a huge company, and here we got a handwritten note from its customer service department thanking us for being a valuable customer. We were very impressed at this handwritten note. Validating people for things that they do, acknowledging them for their actions cannot be overrated. Enjoy today's show, and hopefully you'll put it to use right after the show. Speaking of acknowledgments, I'm going to go over with you an article I found on the internet of top 10 ways to say thank you in an email. By the way, I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Let's thank them by listening to them for just a second, and then we'll be on with our show. Feeling lost with accounting, bookkeeping, or payroll for your small business? Accounting by Art offers a free one-on-one consultation for the state of your business. Art Stump has years of experience helping small business owners with their accounting needs. He also offers QuickBooks training seminars covering both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online, as well as addressing your specific needs and questions. Seminar participants also get a free 1-hour office visit after the class to be sure their QuickBook issues are solved to their satisfaction. Mention this ad at your consultation and get 10% off initial services when you sign up and pay for your first month. Visit accountingbyart.com today and get started. Tired of high prices and low service when purchasing ink for your home or office printer? CR Office Technologies offers their hassle-free guarantee. If it's not right, we'll make it right. They know that customer service is number one. At CR Office Technologies, you get great service on top of great products at prices that you can't beat. They have laser and fax toner cartridges, inkjet cartridges and paper, laser fuses and drum kits, copier toners, and more. Visit crofficetech.com. That's crofficetech.com to get the price, quality, and service that you've been looking for. Great. So I'm here today with my guest, Donna Burst from Creative Burst Inc., and we're going to be talking about greeting cards as a marketing tool. So thanks for coming, Donna.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate you driving out. So tell me, are you from St. Louis?
I am, born and raised.
Born and raised. Great. Well, everybody in St. Louis wants to know what part of St. Louis you're from, or where you went to high school. Right?
I grew up in the county. I was in South St. Louis and moved out to the Ladue area and went to school at Whitfield.
Great. All right, fantastic. Good. I'm from East Peoria, Illinois. That's where I grew up. Actually, been in St. Louis for about 20 some years. So
you're close.
Yeah, I might as well be from here. Good. Good. And schooling wise, high school graduate, college graduate.
I finished my second year at ASU, Arizona State, and went back for 12 more hours at the University of Missouri St. Louis and did 6 years of nonstop motivational reading, which I love to read motivational books.
Great. That's good schooling.
I've been to the Referral Institute and continued education in about 7 hours a month with that and about 100 hours of classroom training. And I did 5 years in Toastmasters.
Wow. Okay, good. What did you study in college?
I was becoming a PE major.
A PE major. Okay, great. Sorry. Well, that's good for motivating people. Yeah. That's good. All right,
I love sports.
Fantastic. All right, great. Well, you're in the right town. Good. So, and then career-wise, well, you 5 years of Toastmasters, and you mentioned some other stuff. What else have you, through the years, career-wise, what have you been doing?
I kind of remind myself of the woman who was on the Titanic and had all the different pictures of all the various things she'd done in her life. Mm-hmm. I was a Go Friday for doctors. I've been in real estate. I've owned an exercise company before exercise was popular. I had a company called Head Threads. We made women's hats, sold them at the PGA show, did promotional products since 2001, still doing those, and send out cards since 2007, and just started wholesale travel in May of this year.
Wow, that's awesome. So great. So we're going to talk about greeting cards and the general types of. There are a lot of different kinds of greeting cards. So and when we talk about greeting cards, we're talking about thank you cards, birthday cards. A greeting card is anything from a
thank you note to a great to see you, run into someone on the street, say, let's get together again and not make it so long, send them a note. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, congratulations, sympathy notes.
The whole gamut.
Everything.
I'll tell you, it's really nice. Like I got a card from Amazon not that long ago, because we do a lot of business with Amazon. We do, I'm sure a lot of people do. It seems like I'm getting packages from Amazon every day, but I get a handwritten note from their customer service department just thanking me for working with them and for doing business with them. And I thought that really made an impression on me. And just because that little handwritten note does make that impression. Those little greeting cards, those thank yous, getting a birthday card from somebody. It actually does mean something. Have you experienced that personally?
Quite a bit. When you send anybody a note and it says you're awesome, thanks so much for being you, thanks for your business, I really appreciate being with you and having you as a client. When you get a note that shows you that appreciation and that gratitude, it definitely makes you feel better. It's how many times you go to your mailbox and get a note like that. It's rare, and there's no reason for it to be rare.
Right.
People should be showing gratitude every day to someone.
It's great. I mean, I love getting the 500 different acknowledgments on my Facebook that say happy birthday. That's great. That's not a bad thing. But the person who takes the extra bit of time to actually send me a card or a postcard or a thank you card, I mean, not just a thank you email, but they spend extra, buck or whatever, and sent that to me. I mean, that means a big difference.
All of our cards are $1, under $1.
Under $1.
Yeah.
And the product you have particularly is a thing called a send out cards,
Right.
which automates the whole process for the person.
It's the easiest process in the world to use. They've made it, whenever I go on other websites now, I'm always critiquing them because they've made it so easy and send out cards. And even when you want to throw in your own picture, I went to a one-to-one with a person an insurance agent, and I went outside and I just took a picture of his building, and I sent it to him on a card and said, "Thanks so much for the one-to-one, and great to get to see you. And here's to reiterate, here's what I do, and here's what I'm looking for, and thank you for your time." He liked the picture so much he asked me to send it to him.
Wow.
Because it was better than his professional photographer, and I did it with my phone, and it went out on a card.
That's great. That's great.
It makes it a beautiful tool to use.
That's great. So I would think that, I mean, selfies could be like that. You can take a nice selfie with you and a client or, somebody you're dealing with, and then put that on the card and send it to them. And if you have a tool, a facility that makes it easy for you to produce that card, all the better.
It does. I always send a Christmas card to my family and friends, close family and friends. And this past year, I lost my mom. So the front of my card was in memory of her. And then the rest of the card was what had happened in my year. So it makes it so versatile to do so many things.
That's great. That's awesome. That's great. So, and it's what attracted you? You were in specialty items before this, right?
Still am.
And still are. So, I mean, this seems like a natural addition to specialty items for you.
It was. In promotional products, you do have 2 huge catalogs of cards that you can use. And these cards are not inexpensive. They're on the very high end. And I looked at send out cards and I thought, well, I'm doing this anyway, but wouldn't it be better for people to be able to use it whenever they wanted to, for whatever purpose they wanted to, and also for their holiday cards or Thanksgiving cards, which some people even send New Year's Eve cards. And that was my purpose in making this part of what I do.
That's great. So send out cards, totally automated, totally online, simplifies the process completely. So it's a way that you can really get these cards out and get it done in a real easy way. Extremely
easy and inexpensive.
That's great. And they even put the stamp on it for you and the whole deal.
They do. And they have gifts. So they have gift cards and gifts. So if, for instance, I had a friend who gave me an extremely great referral, and I know he loves Starbucks, and they have a Starbucks card in there. So I gave him a gift card wrote him a thank you note, threw in the gift card for Starbucks as appreciation for what he had done. He loved it. He loved it so much that when the person left who I was doing business with, he called me and told me who the next person was.
That's awesome. Well, it's like it lends itself to the power of validation, because if you want more of something, you validate it and you pay attention to it. If and so like if you want more of, if you want more referrals, if you want more business from somebody, if you want them to behave in a way that, that they're behaving, like if somebody dresses really nice, well, it's probably really smart to say, if you want more of that, to compliment them in the way that they've dressed. And that'll encourage the person to do more of that. So if you want more of something, you have to validate it. That's a principle that we use in my business, So, this lends itself to that tremendously. You acknowledge those things you want more of. And so it's it fits in perfectly with that, for sure.
It's very well said.
Thanks. Okay, great. Well, good. Yeah. So, well, let me ask you this. With regards to cards in general, if you want to do them the right way, do you have like a few tips for us, like the right way to go about using cards?
Just that you remember to send the card when you are appreciative or thankful or grateful for any occasion. Just to be able to jump online, grab a card, and send it very, very easily. They do the printing, the stuffing, the stamping, the taking to the post office. They do it all.
Wow. We could do a whole thing, just thank people for what, just constantly say, anytime you might say thank you to somebody, that'd be a good time to go ahead and send a card as well.
There's a book, and I don't remember the name of it right now, that a gentleman was very low in life, and he decided to show appreciation every single day of the year by sending a card to someone. At the end of the year, his whole life had turned around. So to me, appreciation is huge. Being grateful for what you have and for the people you meet and the people you're around every day. That is something that just to let them know, because we don't.
That's great. That's a great idea. So you have to find the name of that book and send it to us, and we'll include it in the show notes.
Okay.
And I got a great video for you that you just to exchange with you. I got a great video that you'll love that you can show to somebody or to people, your clients and such. It's called, you can find it on YouTube. It's a video called Validation.
Okay.
And it talks all about validating people, the power of validation. It's a hilarious short little film on the subject. So definitely, for sure, check it out. Mm-hmm. So great. So you love doing this?
Oh my gosh, yes I do.
Yeah, that's great. You have a lot of fun.
I have a huge passion for it.
Great. I mean, it's just, you're showing appreciation, you're thanking people, you're validating them, you're helping others to remember to validate others. And wow. I guess if enough of that was done, we'd be definitely making a better world just by doing that.
Yes, we would be helping.
That's great. That's great. Well, good. So, any tips from you? Any other successful tip on how you think this card should be utilized, or greeting cards in general could be utilized?
Well, you can also get your own handwriting font and 4 signatures on it. So I know that a lot of people say that it's got to be a handwritten note. Mm-hmm. They have like 15 fonts in there that are awesome. You can also have your own handwriting font, which makes it even more fun. So as you type, you're typing your own handwriting. The one thing, I know that there's a book out and a lot of people are following it, that suggests that the note must be handwritten. Mm-hmm. And I think that's great. I really do, for the people who come on to do it. But I personally have received a couple of notes that have been scratched out and little arrows, words scratched out and rewritten and a little arrow. And for me personally, I think that that's something that we should have learned etiquette-wise not to do.
It's a bit unprofessional.
It is.
Yeah.
Very much so to me.
Right.
Maybe to other people it's not. But the notes that I've gotten, I'm like, my mother would have killed me if I'd have said that note. And my teacher would have probably smacked me.
Right. I have somebody else send my thank you notes because my handwriting is like, my handwriting's okay. It's not that it's illegible. It's just, I don't particularly care for my handwriting. So I've quite often have somebody else send my notes. So this would eliminate that.
It's so funny you say that, because when I used to write my notes by hand, first of all, you're throwing away your stationery when you make a mistake. But secondly, I would always wait for the day that my handwriting was really good in order to write my notes. And I never knew when that day was. And there are people that really should use this just because their handwriting is so illegible.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, you might as well, automate the process. If you're going to have somebody else do it for you, you might as well automate the process, and do it on the computer as well,
Makes it so much easier. And if you don't know how to spell a word, they have a lookup. And
that's great. Spellcheck, fantastic. A lot of people are critical of when they see something misspelled too. They're just, they're like, ruin the whole thing. So what, have you seen these cards? I'm sure you've seen positive examples of them working for a business.
Yes.
Can you give us any particular?
Sure. I have a couple of examples, but one in particular. One gentleman who had 400 customers. He sent just a postcard out to everybody, just to keep in touch because it's hard to keep in touch with that many people through the year. And so he sent his card out just to keep in touch, and he got business back from it. People that referred new people to him just because it brought him to their present mind, and also because they wanted to upgrade what they had. So yes, for business, it's hugely successful.
That's great. So you got a lot of referral business and upgrades as well. That's great. All right, good. And then what's have you seen any really big paydays as a result of sending out a thank you card? Anybody who's like, I mean, it's really paid off for them. I mean, the deal of because they sent that card, wow, the opportunity opened up for them. Any examples of that at all?
The same gentleman is the one I go back to because his response to me was that it boosted his business immensely. He said if you figure out the amount you're spending to the amount you're getting back in return, your ratio is huge.
That's great. So great return on investment. Good. All right. Well, good. So, in the show notes, we're going to actually include some statistics that give you some of the return on investment statistics, and on sending greeting cards, both automated and handwritten. That's fantastic. Well, great. Any other words of wisdom or tips that you'd like to give to our listeners today?
Well, there isn't a better way to show gratitude to your friends or your clients or your family than through reaching out to them and just showing them how you appreciate them. You can make a huge difference in their life and in your life as well. There's more on this website that you can send promotional items, actually, and you can do your own business cards.
Okay.
And you can do posters and prints, canvas prints, and calendars. So there's a lot that's involved in this, and you can photo books.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like a fantastic facility. So we're going to include that in the show notes so people can get there and they can sign up to be a customer. That's awesome. And they can make this their own business as well, where they can actually provide this as a service and sign up people to be customers for this send out cards as well.
Correct.
Okay, great. Well, that's great. It's a great opportunity then for somebody, any marketing company could make it part of what they do, or any promotional product company could make it part of what they do. Sounds like a great opportunity for them as well. And not to mention just being a customer and sending out those cards and validating people.
That's the best part.
That's the best part. That's awesome. So good, Donna. So I love reading personally. And I know you brought with you. Is there a few books that you can mention to people that basically stress the importance of this type of sending greeting cards and such?
There are many. I don't think I've read one book so far that hasn't mentioned it. But to mention a few that are very keen on it, Tom Hopkins, who spends about 5 pages in his book How to Master the Art of Selling. Jack Canfield in The Success Principles, John Milton Fogg in The Greatest Networker in the World, and Jordan Adler in his Beach Money. They go on in telling the importance of a written note. And Jordan Adler is one of the higher ups in the Send Out Cards organization. And he's amazing. He's an amazing man, and he sends cards and sends gifts almost every day.
All right, well, great. Donna, thank you very much for being here. So our guest today was Donna Burst from Creative Burst, Inc. That's a great name. I just figured it out. That's awesome. Creative Burst. Awesome. Donna Burst. All right, great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So that was great. You definitely have to put that to use. Now, as promised, I'm going to give you top 10 ways to say thank you in an email. Now, the article I found on the internet is included, a link to that is included in the show notes so you can get the full article. But here's a rundown of the full article that can be found on englishtown.com. Basically, everybody wants to feel appreciated, as we just went over in our show. You find that a few kind words will actually smooth the way tremendously. So, at the beginning of an email, thanking your readers is a great way of opening things. It sets the right tone, makes them feel appreciated, And this is particularly vital if you require future help from them. The ways to thank people in an email include: thank you for contacting us. Thank you for your prompt reply. Thank you for providing the requested information. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you for your concerns. Using each one of these in the appropriate circumstances, as mentioned, is a great way to open an email. And again, it sets the right tone. People love to be acknowledged. Now, at the end of an email, you can show your appreciation in advance for future action. By showing this appreciation, you're more likely to get positive reaction. Here's some examples. Thank you for your kind cooperation. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your consideration. And finally, thank you again for everything you've done. So that was some great information in today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to remind everybody that we do social media and website evaluations at our website, reallivemarketing.com. Thanks for listening this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week for some more real live marketing.